And I think we are officially live. Let me move myself so you guys can see me. Hi, everyone. I'm going to just wait a little bit to see if we can get some viewers on here before we get started. And look, we were supposed to go live at 7 o'clock for you guys, so we're technically 8 minutes early originally. There we go. Okay, let me test in here. There is a small delay for us, so I'm going to be looking at my phone periodically to see if I can catch any of the comments. Tami, who's actually hosting me in Annapolis, will hopefully hop onto the comments in order to respond to you guys once y'all get on here. Just give them a few minutes. Okay, looks like we have 3 viewers on here now. Let me see if it'll show me who it is. Kate is in here. Yay, Kate. Lindsay's here. Lindsay is going to be in the comments. Lindsay from Lindsay Lee Photography is going to be my guest instructor, and I'm so excited about that because she has been in business for 13 years. She has a profitable business, amazing, talented artist. Actually, when I began my photography journey, I was a super big fan of Lindsay's, and I actually reached out to her because she was in Houston at the time to see about mentoring, and then she literally moved like 2 months later. So I missed out on mentoring with her when I first started, but always been a fan of hers. So crazy how life changes and everything goes in full circle, and now we're going to be teaching together. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. We're going to try to schedule a live with her next week so you guys can talk to her because she is local to you guys as well. So I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Maria Arellano. I am the photographer for Marabella Portraits. I also teach photography workshops all over the United States. I have a passion for teaching. I'm very invested in everybody that attends my workshops. And today I have 2 guests with me, Christine and Chrissy, and both of them attended my Artist Inside of Me workshop in New Jersey, which was just a couple of months ago, right? I mean, it feels like it was yesterday, but I think it was like June or July. I can't remember.
July, right?
September 1st.
It was?
Oh my God.
Yes, September 1st.
So I wanted them to come in because they actually came in as attendees. They had no idea who I was. We've never met before. I don't think I've ever spoken to you guys either before, right?
No.
I knew your work. I have no idea how you guys found me, but I'm so glad you did. That was an amazing day. The Artist Inside of Me workshop, that was the first time I did that workshop, and it was a test. I was running different modules. I had an idea for an artistic workshop and to do something different from what I had seen other teachers had done. And it was mostly just about your passion and creativity. And so they were kind of like the guinea pigs for that workshop. And they got to go and they gave me tons of feedback. Afterwards, we went to dinner. It was an amazing time. I was like, I need another day. It was not long enough. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with Chrissy and tell them about yourself, how long you've been in business, all that good stuff.
Hi, guys. I'm Chrissy. I am currently not in business. I am a hobbyist. I'm hoping to possibly go into business this year, but I just been spending the last 2 years doing workshops and doing a lot of workshops and editing workshops. And I got into photography 2.5 years ago when my son-in-law was deployed, and I just wanted to be able to take beautiful pictures of my grandchildren to send him. And I heard about Maria from Tami, who will be hosting Annapolis, and I heard about you for a good 6-7 months. She kept on saying how she was going to Savannah to see you. And when you were doing workshops there, and I just started checking out your work, and I fell in love with your, the imagery. And I actually tried to get to Savannah, and yes, and yes, it just did not work out. So when Tami told me you were going to be in New Jersey, I'm like, that's it. I'm in Jersey. I'm 2 hours, less than 2 hours away from where the workshop was held. And I'm like, okay, I'm going with you, Tami. And went to your workshop on September 1st. And I have to say, it was the first workshop that I've ever been to. And I've done a lot of workshops in this last year and a half.
Can you give us like an estimate number, just how many workshops you've gone to?
9.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 workshops.
So beautiful. Go on. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm trying. But yeah, so I was really fearful going to yours. And the reason I was fearful was because it was going to be studio. Mm-hmm. And I know nothing about studio. Okay. So, for the last 2 years, I just been like studying and practicing, natural light photography outside. So yeah, the studio part, really made me nervous. And then when we got there and we all had pamphlets on our table and telling us, each participant what we're going to be shooting. And when I saw mine was editorial, I almost died because, I don't know. I'm a grandmother. I have 4 grandkids. I'm not fashionable.
Not true. Look at you today.
I'm a jeans and t-shirt type of girl. And I know nothing about fashion. And then Maria said, oh yeah, you're going to style her. You're going to, look at Pinterest for ideas for makeup and hair. And I was completely out of my comfort zone. But that's the thing. Because I was so uncomfortable, I knew I was being pushed. Yes. And I knew I was going to grow.
Yes.
Because anything that makes me uncomfortable or feeling awkward, I just know, there's lessons. I'm going to be growing. And, I had the Mia, who was my model, and she was 12. And I was, I picked her hairstyle to tell the hair and makeup woman. I was blown away. She was a beautiful, girl coming in, but she looked like she was on Cosmo or Vogue or.
Yeah, you did amazing.
And it just shocked me that, like, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. So, I left your workshop, feeling confident that, wow, maybe I can do this.
You can.
It was just an amazing experience. And, one of the great things, I came in without a lens because my 50 millimeter, just broke the night before, and you were so kind and gracious and let me borrow your 35 millimeter. And but you're such a great teacher, and you're humble.
Thank you.
You're humble and you're generous and you're so kind. And I definitely think that we just need more people, not even just in this industry, but in this world, that are more like you.
Thank you. That means so much to me. You guys have no idea how rewarding it is for me to teach. I tell people all the time, this is not my bread and butter. I actually have to leave my family, go travel, hang out with other people. I get very invested in everyone because I want everybody to succeed and live the life that they want, because I get to live it every day. I started in 2015, so really not that long ago with my business, and I have doubled my income every year. This last year, moving into studio and everything, I actually tripled my income. So my goal is for 2019 to triple or quadruple my income, hire a team, like just grow. And one of the reasons I wanted to grow is because I love teaching so much that I want to be able to leave my business here running, where we're still making income and being profitable here, but I still get to travel and teach more people and help people to build a good business doing what they love. Now, if you don't want to open up a business, if you're not ready and you just want to do it as a hobby, I think it's still an amazing experience to learn to have confidence in your work. And not get taken advantage by your friends and family too, you know? So yes, I'm so glad you came. Chrissy's going to be joining us in Annapolis as well. She's going to be assisting. And so for those of you that are super nervous about what you're going to be doing, she's going to be there as well, helping you guys. I will hand hold you. You can be scared, you can cry, whatever, but I will be there. You're not going to be by yourself. So now I want to introduce Christine. Christine is going to tell you guys a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Christine. I was actually in bed yesterday sick, so I'm kind of not 100% right now. But I did the workshop when Chrissy did it, and Maria, I didn't know you, but I knew your work, and I'm sure from one of the websites or one of the Facebook pages that I follow, and I thought it was really beautiful. And I never, like Chrissy, I don't shoot studio. I only shoot outdoors. And so I was really nervous, but also more than nervous, I was excited because I want to learn studio. I want to be able to do it. And what I loved so much about the workshop is that you didn't do everything for us. Is that we had to do it ourselves. And when you have to do it yourself, sorry, although it's a little daunting, it's amazing because you learn so much more, and also you gain a different type of confidence, right? I mean, it's one thing for someone to tell you that you do a good job. It's another thing to walk away knowing that you could do it yourself because you believe it, not because someone else is telling you, right? There's a difference there. And my most intimidating moment, though, I was laughing when Chrissy was talking about how when she opened the folders, for me, it was when we had to draw the apple. And then Maria's going around and recording it, and mine looked like, I don't know, like a very sick pomegranate. If even it might have looked like a grenade. I'm not sure, but I thought, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But anyway, then we got on to, and I think I did fashion and couture, which I loved because that's exactly what I want to do. And I had the most sweet little girl. I think Kendra was my girl. And, right, Kendra or Kendall?
Kendall, I think.
Kendall.
And she was gorgeous and smart and strong, and she was a dancer. And I got to use a woman's tulle skirt. And it was so fabulous because the way that there was so much tulle that we could make it flow around her head, her face, and it was exactly what I wanted to do. And Chrissy, it was Tami. Tami makes the head.
She makes headpieces, yeah.
And so Tami had a headpiece that just worked perfectly. But I loved it. And although I haven't done it yet, studio, I swear to you, my goal for the winter is to set up a studio in my apartment. I just have a small apartment.
Me too.
Space.
You can do it, yeah.
But that is really, like, that is my goal for this winter when I can't shoot outdoors because it's 20 degrees out. But there's nothing to be on the fence about. It's just, you learn, it's hands-on. I still, Maria, one of the things that Maria taught us is that, is what she does to prepare, going through magazines and, Pinterest boards. And I do that, Maria. I still have magazines that I set aside. And my Pinterest boards now are much more goal and shoot specific. And even if I haven't done all of them yet, it's with the intention to do that in the coming year. So definitely my goal for 2019 is to do the studio work that we learned. And you're right, Chrissy, it was September. It was Labor Day weekend. And so for a lot of photographers, it was the beginning of my busiest season, as for most of you. So I haven't been able to use it. But when I'm stuck indoors, that's what I'll be doing. And I'll be thanking and calling you.
Yeah, you can always call me. Always just a step away.
But I loved it.
I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you guys got to talk to them about kind of what you guys did. And so now we're going to talk about the Annapolis workshop. A couple of things. I do see some questions. Kate wants to know if she needs to bring a prime lens or will a 24-70 be okay? I mostly shoot in studio with a 24-70 and a 35mm. So those are wonderful wide lenses. I love to use those in studio. If you work with like teenagers, if you do events like quinceañeras, I know some photographers in here do quinceañeras, a 50 and 85 would also work really, really well in studio. I like to use the 24 to 70 and the 35 because it tends to be a little figure flattering for women, and I work a lot with women, and we all want to look thin and long and gorgeous. So there's a little bit of distortion with those lenses, so it works really, really well for me, specifically with Goddess. So if you guys are not familiar with Goddess, I will go ahead and post some images of that work that I do. The models that I'm planning on having there, we are going to have some child models, of course, but I also want to have a teen, possibly a couple as well, so we can do some couples posing. I don't know, I'm super excited. It kind of just depends on who is going to sign up and what kind of photography you do, because I kind of like to cater what we do around the students, right? Because I want everybody to leave with something. We're also going to shoot, optional day 2. We're going to try to fit in a sunset shoot, but it's going to depend on weather. I think that when we did New Jersey, we did fit in a sunset shoot, but we were super rushed, and I don't want to feel that way. So it's going to be focused on studio on day 1. So day 1 is going to be the creative process, the artist inside of me process. You're going to be drawing. You're going to be finding inspiration. You're going to be putting a journal together, styling your models. We're going to team you guys up, so you're not going to be all alone. Chrissy will be there. I'm going to see if I can convince Christine to come too. So you won't be alone. You'll have some hands-on help right there. And then what we do is you each go individually and you get time to shoot your model. You're going to get 3 to 4 poses with each model, so you don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel like you're not going to get enough images. When you leave the workshop, you'll have lots of images. Too many images. You're not going to have enough time to edit everything. But that'll be like your one-on-one with me, where I get to see how you work with the models. And I also try to pick people that don't necessarily have a lot of modeling experience. I want to try to use real life clients as much as possible, because you never know. So if you're expecting to have like these perfect models that are going to be perfectly well behaved and all that stuff, no, surprise, surprise. Why? Because this is a safe place where there's no actual pressure on you. So if it gets messed up, if there's an accident, like it just doesn't turn out right, that's okay, because it's a workshop, it's a learning environment. So it's a safe place to make mistakes. I don't want you to hold back. Anything, any idea, any concept that you wanted to try, this is the time and the space to do it. What else? If we have time to do the outdoor shoot, that's going to be done on the second day. I will be styling that. So those are going to be set. So for that, you do need a long focal length. That's how I shoot. That's how Lindsay shoots. So something that can shoot wide open, f2, f2.8 would be great. I think Lindsay and I both have 135 millimeters and 200 millimeters. So those, 70 to 200 also works really well. So let's see, day 2, which you ladies didn't get to go to that one. Day 2 is going to basically be focusing on editing. So we're going to start the day off with my editing workflow. I have a workflow for time managing purposes. So I don't want to spend more than 7 minutes on an image. I do sell per image though. So if I spent 20 minutes, 30 minutes on an image, I better be getting paid well for that, okay? So we're going to talk about that, about your editing workflow. From that, Lindsay is going to be here. Lindsay's going to tell us, because she is in your area, I wanted to start inviting guests that are local to you guys that have successful businesses in that market where you're already at. And Lindsay's making well over 6 figures. She's been in business for 13 years. She's a great teacher. And so she's going to be teaching for about 1 to 2 hours. I will still be there, so you guys can still come to me. Following that, we're going to have a really nice, long self-value talk. We are also going to expect you to bring, dun, 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 dun. This is the scary part. I don't want to scare you guys away. This is for your own good. And when it's for your own good, it's uncomfortable. But you're going to have to bring a list of your expenses. I'm not going to put it on the board in front of everybody. This is going to be for you, but we're going to walk through it together. So you don't have to show it to anybody. It's very scary if you've never done it before, but it's very important that we do that so we can figure out, how much money you need to make each month in order to be profitable. Because ultimately, I want you to be profitable. Following that, if there's time, then we're going to go ahead and start working on creating a marketing plan for our businesses. So everyone's going to get to do that and create a 30-day marketing plan with a campaign. And then you guys are going to get to test it out. I guess the other thing I was going to tell you guys is there's still 4 more spots. The next 4 people to book also get a one-on-one with me for 1 hour online. It could be prior to the workshop or afterwards if you guys want to, where we can discuss anything. It can be business or it can be art, whatever you guys like. I would love to see if there's any questions. Lindsay wants to go downtown Annapolis. I want to, and if the weather permits, we're definitely going to go. Janie, 7 minutes. I take about an hour. Yeah, I would hope so. If you listen to what I have to say, yes. I have a little kitchen timer. Let me show you guys right here. This is my kitchen. Can you see it? Kitchen timer. Right. It's my boss. I hate the thing. I've already broken a couple of them because they make me so mad sometimes. But I started with like a 15-minute alarm, and then I worked it down to 10 minutes, and now it's at 7 minutes. So if I can shave more time off of it, that would be amazing. But I use it for everything. Even today, I can't move my computer to show you guys, but I have a dry erase board up there, and it's got my tasks for today. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's called macros and micros. So macros are our big goals for the year. And then micros are the breakdown and the little tasks and ongoing tasks that we have to do in order to hit those goals. And so I have my micros every day up there, and they have a time on it. So how much time I'm allowed to spend on each activity, because I have ADHD. So I will sit here and I will be editing a website for 5 hours. You know, we don't have time for that because we have to be profitable, and I want to go home and I want to see my children. So my little kitchen timer is my boss. I traded in a real boss for this. This is my boss now. Let's see. So yes, Jane, I hope your editing time is reduced. We're going to go over basically removing, the workflow. What is important to take care of and what isn't. And a lot of it starts with the image right out of camera. So if you have a good image in camera, that's going to save you a lot of time. And also, we've got to start editing for profits and editing for our clients, and not so much to post on Facebook and not so much for other photographers. A lot of times we're so more with getting likes, and that's kind of our incentive to post and get all these likes and get other photographers to give us that feedback that you're great. So we lose track of what's really important. And at the end of the day is your turnaround time is super important for your client experience. So you need to start focusing on your clients, their experiences, in order for you to get paid what you're worth. Because if you're just focusing on, let me just take a beautiful picture, post it in a group, and you spent an entire day working on this amazing picture, but you're not selling it, it's just getting you lots of likes. So I'm not saying that's not good. It is good. It's great. It's beautiful, but we want to be profitable, and that's not really sustainable unless you're charging $1,000 for a picture. Let's see. Tami says this workshop is also perfect for the hobbyist who is still deciding on starting a business. Would you guys say so? Chrissy, what do you think?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I learned so much. I learned so much, and I'm excited. I'm actually like really excited for, my future in this. Right now, like I said, I'm a hobbyist, but, I really do think I really want to try and do this and make, try to make beautiful memories for other families. So.
And I think that even if you're a hobbyist, just going in and learning how to run a business, like you can totally apply this to your life, because we are going to be talking about time management and also self-care. Self-care is very important. And I'm not going to lie, and I was so worried about my business for so long. I put on over 100 pounds in 5 years, which is a lot. And so this year, if you guys are my Facebook friends, you guys know that I've been, trying to get healthy again. And I was super excited. I took a picture today because my skin's looking so much better, because I'm spending time taking care of myself with some self-care, and I'm starting to achieve that life balance. And of course, that's something that's ongoing. So we're definitely going to be talking about that, because if your head isn't on there, if that self-care isn't there, everybody's going to suffer, not just your clients and not just you. But we tend to put ourselves last because, I have to do these pictures and I have to go to work if you have another job, and then I have to take care of the family. And then we forget about ourselves.
And Bria, I completely agree on both accounts. One, I wish that I had done more workshops like Chrissy did before I started my business. I wish I had done a little more research before jumping, right in, because I think I would have been better prepared for the many, many challenges. Also, self-care. I'm really bad at it. And I think that's a great thing that you're teaching. Because we just get inundated with work. And I think most of us are very guilty of letting it take over our lives.
Yeah, let me tell you guys right now, we just came off the super busy season, and everybody had a busy season, right? Not I. Which I was very strategic last year, and I said that I was not going to work November and December. And I literally, I only shot in November and December what I wanted to shoot. I didn't take any clients November and December. So my first official client was this past Saturday, I had my first client. I spread out my work so that I wasn't dying and drowning at any point. I think it's great if you can do it. It's just not something that I want to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We're going to talk about success, because success is not a straight up mountain where you go straight up, right? There's like peaks and valleys and stuff like that. And sometimes, right before you're peaking or going to the next level, you're going to kind of have a little bottleneck. You're going to have things that are kind of going to get in the way. And so we're going to have to talk about how to knock them out and what do we need to do in order to get to the next level. Because a lot of times what keeps us stuck in one place might be fear, or it might just be strategy. So we're going to be talking about that. Let's see. Do you go over pricing, packages, prints versus digitals? Are you digital print for clients? Jane, we are going to need to go over your expenses first. If you do decide to book the workshop within, if you're one of the next 4 people to book, then you'll have a one-on-one so we can be more targeted for you and your pricing and stuff. But it's very important that before we can even discuss pricing, that you know what your expenses are, and then we can go from there. Why are expenses important? Because then you need to know how much money you need to bring in to be a profitable business. So let's say you're doing this as a hobby and your expenses are only $200 a month, but you want to make sure that you're still profitable. You might still have some business expenses, and you want to not be in the hole. A lot of times once we do the expenses, you realize it's actually costing you $300 or $400 per day to go out and do the shoot, and you're only charging $50 or $100 or $200, So that's important that we discuss that in order for you so we can figure out what your average sale needs to be, and then we can price around that. And it has to be very targeted pricing so that you get that amount every time. So let's say, for instance, if my minimum package, like what I really need to make on average is $700, then I might do a $250 session fee and make my smallest package $500. Then I'm always guaranteed to make $750. Does that make sense? So that's why it's important that we know what our expenses are. And then I'll know how much I need to make per month, so how many clients I need to book per month. So right now, my goal is to get 20 clients per month and have an average of $1,500 per client in order for me to hit those goals. So we'll talk about like that and how to figure out your pricing. And I'm not going to tell you have to do it this way or you have to do it that way. I want you to do it the way it works for you. You have to love what you do. If that's doing in-person sales, that's great. If you like that process, that's fine. If you prefer to do digitals, that's fine. But you have to price yourself so that you're profitable, so that it's worth your time. Because if you're making $150,000 a year, but you're seeing 400 clients, then you're killing yourself for like $150, $200. And you don't ever have free time. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you're profitable, and that we look at those numbers so that it's not 75% expenses and then you're only paying yourself 15%, 10%, if that. Some people are not. I don't think it matters if you use Bridge or Lightroom. I actually just use Camera Raw and Photoshop. So Lightroom, I only use it just to kind of when I tether so you guys can see images. So I'll do that at the workshop, but I really don't use either. let's see, Lindsay. Lindsay's going to be going over her pricing. So if anyone has questions for her, please let her know. Yeah, Lindsay's actually going to be live with me next week. So she's going to discuss what her modules are and what she's going to be teaching you. So if you guys have questions, you definitely want to kind of start thinking about them because she will be very specific about her marketing plan and her pricing. And like I said, she's actually in your area. So she's doing it well. She's doing it right. So this is somebody whose brain you really want to pick. And here's the thing, you never want to compete for pricing. When you're competing with pricing, you're in a race to the bottom. That's it. Because you're never going to be the cheapest. There's always going to be somebody who's going to be cheaper. And so then you're competing for all these people that are not your ideal clients. Once you price yourself correctly, you get these people that don't even ask about digitals, or they don't even ask about price anymore because you're so above. You don't want to be so low that you're still getting the bottom of the barrel clientele that's asking for digitals and free pictures and stuff like that. So we'll definitely talk about that. And Lindsay will tell you guys about her experience while marketing there. Eric. I am not an event photographer, so I really am not sure. As far as videography goes, and when you're coming up with your packages for that, again, that just still goes back to how much you want to get paid per hour and how many weekends do you want to be available for events. So it's still important to know that. So in the business portion, you have to take those things into account. To me, video services, that's just another part or cost of doing business. So I would just consider that as an expense. So if you're paying your videographer $1,000 and all of your packages 1, 2, and 3, you're still profiting the same amount because of your expenses, then you're not priced correctly. You need to make sure that you're making more money for more work that you're doing or more things that you're providing. And some people are like, oh, as long as I make $500 on each package, then I'm happy. Well, no, you're giving too much. And I tend to find that a lot. A lot of people feel like to be comfortable with the price that they're giving, they end up like giving them everything plus the kitchen sink because they're like, I feel like I'm not giving them enough. So we're going to go over that. So I don't want you guys to do that because it's not fair. You need to be paid accordingly. Let's see. Kate, do you have a template or anything that can help to identify expenses? I will post a link to a calculator. And then you guys can look at the things that are on there if you have no idea what your expenses are going to be. And that'll give you kind of an idea. Just basic things are your internet, your phone, just everything that you can think of that you use towards business has to go on there. Christine or Chrissy, do you guys know what your monthly expenses are right now in business? Even though you're a hobbyist, Chrissy, you have monthly expenses.
Well, springtime, summertime, it's a lot. It's usually a lot.
Yeah.
I would have to run numbers, but yeah, I have an obsession.
What about you, Christy? Off the top of your head, you don't know?
No, I have a general idea, but no, I should know, but I don't.
It's okay. You know what? And this is something I tell when you guys came to the artist workshop, so you guys didn't get any business, and we're going to be talking about business this time on day 2. It's going to be totally business focused. The things that you learn in the business class don't necessarily just apply to photography business. When we talk about systems, when we talk about having a workflow, when we talk about client experience, all of those things you can apply to the job that you have right now. You can apply that to starting a different business. Like business is business, regardless whether you do photography or you're making cakes or making dresses. Business is business. And there's certain things that work all across the board. You have to market, you need customers, and you need to provide a good service in order for them to come back. All right, let's see. I think that's about it. But Kate, I will post the NCAA watch the video, feel free to go out. I use Camera Raw and Photoshop mostly. Sometimes I will use Alien Skin, and then I also use Portraiture for skin because it's fast and I'm all about the time. So that's it. Any other questions? see any other questions. So it was so great to talk to you guys. I really hope I get to meet you in person and that you join us. Have a great night. Please comment, send me an email if you want to talk to me more about your own personal business and what your goals are to see if we are a good fit. Just comment, send me a message, and I will give you a call. All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Maria.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.